In this video, I'll go through the process of naming an alcohol. So recall alcohols or organic compounds that have a hydroxyl or an OH functional group. And so the rules for naming alcohols are similar to alkanes and other organic compounds. The first thing that you want to do is identify your parent chain, which is your longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. But the difference between naming an alcohol and an alkane is that that longest continuous chain must include the carbon where your functional group is bonded. And so this OH group is your alcohol functional group. This is the carbon that that group is connected to. And so your parent chain must include this carbon. So you're still looking for the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms, but it must also include this carbon. So even if it doesn't give you the overall longest chain of carbon atoms, as long as it contains this specific carbon, you're on the right track. And so I can start at any end of the molecule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No matter which way I go, I'm going to have 8 in my parent chain. What I recommend when you're first starting out and practicing your nomenclature, go ahead and box off that area. That way you'll know that you've already accounted for that. So in this box area, there were 8 carbon atoms. So I'm using my prefix for 8, which is oct. And so this means 8. And instead of octane, the E gets replaced with OL. And it becomes octanol. So I'll rewrite it because I've actually gone off my sheet, but octanol would be the name of those 8 carbon atoms along with that functional group. So I've already accounted for all of those things that are boxed. The only thing left is this one branch sticking outside the box. This one branch represents one substituent that contains one carbon. So because it contains one carbon, we have meth, but instead of methane, it's methyl. So that YL lets us know it has one less hydrogen atom. So far I've accounted for everything within this molecule. Methyl, which is that one carbon, octanol, which would represent the 8 carbon atoms along with the alcohol functional group. Now I need to indicate where everything is located. So I need to number my parent chain. I can number in 2 directions, from left to right. And I'm simply numbering those carbon atoms because I said octanol, I'm just numbering from 1 to 8. I could also go from right to left, doing the same thing, just indicating where everything is located. So I'm just numbering each carbon atom in that parent chain. But because I have a functional group, a hydroxyl representing the alcohol, it takes priority. So we need to make sure we give that alcohol the lowest number possible. Left to right places that alcohol on carbon 6. Right to left places it on carbon 3. So we want a number from right to left. Even if it causes your substituents to have a higher number, you want your functional group to have the lowest number. And so from there, I need to indicate where my substituents are located. So still, once I've determined which way I'm numbering, I have to still remain counting in that direction. So from right to left. So even though left to right would have placed this methyl group on carbon 2, I can't switch directions. I have to continue numbering in the same direction. So because the right to left gave my functional group the lowest number, that means that my methyl group is now placed on carbon number 7. And so just as before, when you're indicating where things are located, separate your numbers from your letters using a dash. And so my methyl group is located on carbon 7. My hydroxyl, my alcohol functional group, is located on carbon 3. From there, put everything together. Your substituents followed by your parent chain. I only have that one substituent, which is the methyl. But I can't just say 7-methyl octanol. I have to indicate where the alcohol functional group is located at on the parent chain. And so I will indicate that just as I would a substituent by saying which carbon number the alcohol functional group is located on. So you have 7-methyl-3-octanol. If you go on Google or you do different searches, sometimes instead of seeing 3-octanol, you may see octan 3. Same thing. It just tells us that the alcohol functional group is on carbon 3. And so when you're numbering and naming these molecules, start with the basic rules of naming alkanes, but just make sure that your alcohol functional group is included in that parent chain.